I'm like, what was that? I saw something red. I don't know. Okay, so what we doing is today is going to be the sexual. What is this thing called? The circles of human sexuality. The circles of human sexuality. So this is a lesson, and it's like for real. I think you can find it. So it's like circle number one is sensuality. Sensuality is awareness and feeling about your own body, and other people's bodies, especially the body of a sexual partner. Sensuality enables us to feel good about how our bodies look and feel and what they can do. Sensuality also allows us to uh, enjoy the pleasure our bodies can give us and others. This part of sensuality affects our behavior in several ways. So the reason why I'm going over this is because a lot of people will just assume that sex is sex. And so that's like an asexual person, right? It's like it's selfish, but it's not. It's not a bad thing until it starts to become something like rape or something like that. So it's like asex some it's an asexuality word, because I was like, man, something, it's like you don't want a relationship, you just want to fuck. That's asexuality. It's not, and it's being fluid as well. Like the only time it becomes dangerous is if you are raping somebody or it's incestual. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, if it's consented, if you are with a consenting adult, right, and both of you have decided to have a sexual relationship, when you part, it doesn't have to be evil. It doesn't have to be distant. It doesn't have to become a relationship. That's what it is. You use it for what it's for. It's a sexual relationship. So some people are like that, and they are still asexual, but it's just like a different type of asexual. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that. So I was like wondering last night, like, why do they get mad at asexual people? Like that is so weird, and that's why, because an asexual person can hurt your feelings. Like they don't really. It's it's about their own satisfaction. It's not really about yours. You see what I'm saying? An asexual person can be very loving. Like I'm for real. Like sometimes if I'm in a mood of asexuality, right? If I'm in that, if I'm in that phase, if I'm in that fluidity or whatever, I don't care. Like it's like I care, but I don't care. I want to make love to a person, but I don't want to keep them. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have to be my boyfriend. He doesn't have to be my man. And so it's like that person can hurt your feelings because and so men do this too. They do it a lot. And you think, oh, is he a person? And some men you look at him a lot and you just like, this dude ain't never been with a woman. He ain't never been in a relationship. And that's why, because he's making the videos to get views, first of all. You see what I'm saying? Everything is gonna be selfish about him. So it'll be like he's thinking that he's gonna be sexy, sexual, all this stuff, and you can see the what how can I say this? You can see the nervousness in his face. And I'm sorry, I see this guy on I think I'm gonna stop watching it too, because it's like it's kind of disturbing because it seems a little abusive. But he may be an asexual person. You just like, why does he not have a woman yet? You see what I'm saying? Because somebody else that disturbs me too is Ace Metaphor. Like I'm just like, nah, that's a little bit controlling. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, again, that's not my sexuality, because like I didn't get into S&M and all that stuff either. So some people say this, say this and masochist. You see what I'm saying? Some people like to give pain. Some people like take pain. Some people, you see how it's like different levels of sexuality. So some of these people just not my speed. And so it actually makes me uncomfortable. The same as if I were to like be in a situation where somebody wanted me to have gay sex, or if they wanted me to do a threesome or something. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like all that stuff makes me uncomfortable. So that's why I talk about it too, because it's like abusive men make me uncomfortable. Some women be like, "Oh, grab my hair," and it's like, no, just no. Can you please part my hair and grease it? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just not about to do that. So that's why it's important to know. You see what I'm saying? So then you with an asexual person and you don't understand. You ask him, when did you have a girlfriend? He's like, well, I'm not looking for a relationship. I haven't even been in a relationship for the last 5 years. He just wants sex. He doesn't want anything outside of it unless he says he does. And if it starts to voyeur in on something outside of that, he may become abusive, or she may become abusive. You understand what I'm saying? It's like that's something that you have to understand. And so it's like, for real, it'll make us understand so much more about human behavior when you understand sexuality. So that's why I'm going back over it. That's why I'm going to this level. So in sensuality, you have body image. Feeling attractive and proud of one's own body and the way it functions influences many aspects of life. So that's one part of it. Experiencing pleasure. How do you experience pleasure? Do you experience it by touch? I'm always like telling y'all about all these different things like Ayurveda and all these massages and stuff you can have and all this different stuff. And it's like those are just ways for you to be good to yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's okay for you to be good to yourself. And so some people will be like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch. No, don't touch. And so it's like, how does this person experience sensuality, or do they experience it at all? Satisfying skin hunger, the needing to be touched. Like sometimes that gets to be too much too, and that doesn't mean you asexual. It's just that you yearning for somebody to touch your skin. I do that too. Sometimes I yearn for a partner. Feeling physical attraction for another person. This is all part of sensuality, and then also fantasy. What do you do? Like, do you watch porn? Are you not a porn person? Do you, like I talked about last night, how I don't stick any apparatuses in my vagina, if I don't have a man. And so do you stick an apparatus in your vagina when you have a man? I mean, when you don't have a man, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, even masturbation is different for some people. So for me, that's just too much. I'm not about this. I don't need a fake dick in my vagina. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would like a real dick. And so that's it. That's because of my sexuality. And that is it for me. So my body image. I'm okay with my body because I have curves. My experience and in pleasure. I always like, and it's like more than just one thing. It's not, the sensuality has nothing to do with sex. So it's just like, but what makes me happy? What makes me feel good? What makes me feel turned on for myself? So you have to think of your sight, sound, taste, all this different stuff. Like, now I'm eating this, it's bland, so I had to add some seasoning. It's popping. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the same way that life goes for you. So what do you like to see? How do you give yourself sensuality through sight? How do you give yourself sensuality through smell? That vanilla is like bumping. Today I opened my candle up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do I listen to? I like to listen to like these Indian beats and all this different stuff. I just let that play. I can't, and I watch those miniature videos, what else? And it's like, what tastes good? I go to Caldi's Coffee. I like fruits and vegetables. So all that stuff is me being sensual. And if I had a partner, I want my partner to be satisfied that way. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like, I want my partner to have a same sense of sensuality that I do. Satisfying the skin hunger. I used to have a friend, he would like touch me and he would like push his fingers. And we friends, so he would just like push his fingers into my back or something like that, like he's playing the piano. It's so soft and sweet. Some of my friends used to like come and rub my back like with their fingers and stuff like that. So those are touches I allow. I really do allow all these touches to do that. And so it's like, that's okay. Um, Feeling physical attraction for another person. I'm attracted to different body types for different reasons. Um, and then fantasy, it's just like, I watch porn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch porn. I've always watched porn. And so it's just like, that's something that I like. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? I'm sorry. Somebody asking about this whole whatever this noise is that you hear. So what they saying is that he'll block out the sound from other people. I'm talking about this is some real sex trafficking shit. He'll block out the sound for other people. But then when it's me and it's like I can hear this person talking about something like all the fucking like they forever talking about my show, they forever talking about my pussy. You know what I'm saying? And when I was at the shelter in East St. Louis, he would be in there talking, telling me how to take a shower. And I think it's different men in different places at the hotel. He would start trying to talk about how I was masturbating, all this different stuff. So it's like they acting like they can. These other people act like they can't hear, they can't understand. If somebody is coming to you and telling you to watch me in a certain way or come do this to me in a certain way, and I'm not a part of the meeting, then that's a problem. You understand? Like I've never been a part of the meeting, but you're gonna watch me when I go to the bathroom. You're gonna watch me when I walk out my door. I'm never the you never saw them when they opened my door. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't know. So I was just in the office, right? And this boy comes and says, they opened my door and it was like this type of heat or something coming out the door. Look, y'all, that's what happened to me in Austin. That's what I told the boy. I say, and somebody opening my door happened when I first got here. So I was like, I didn't really say anything, and I don't because I'm like, I don't know what type of people these are. So she said, if we call the police aren't going to do anything. And it's like, why would they not do anything? And they broke in the room and stole something. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's like, why are we not allowed to call the police? Because the police have gone crazy. And they don't want to say anything. The police have gone crazy. She say, oh, it'll take an hour or two. No, it won't. They're across the street. Now they directly across the street. I'm talking about if we jump the fence, we could be at the police station. Bitch, if we slide up under the fence, we're going to be at the police station. So why would calling the police be a problem? So she said, file a grievance so we can go back over the camera. So he said, well, if I file a grievance, when we going to go back over the camera? It's like, yeah, because it has to be in writing. Like, if you had a situation against you, you want to put it in writing so then you can go back over yourself and nobody gets a chance to, like, really change the details. So that's it. So he said, well, it's okay. I'm not going to do it. It's like, nah, do it. You know what I'm saying? If all that shit is happening to you, do it. By all means, do it. And it's not them. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't him. That shit happened to me. Get the fuck out. Sexual intimacy. Let's talk about that. Okay, y'all. Sorry about that. I had to take a break. Finish my food. Sexual intimacy. Sexual intimacy is the ability um to be emotionally close to another human being and accept closeness in return. Several aspects of intimacy include sharing. So sharing intimacy is what makes personal relationships rich, while sensuality is about physical closeness. So sensuality is about being close. And sexual intimacy is about what again? Is about emotional closeness. So sharing, you think about that. And so these are the things when people do shows up like that is gonna make that person feel close to you. So like if you guys go out to dinner, me and my friends, me and Kunta used to do this all the time. We always like share a plate. So like we just eat off the same plate. Like they do that in Ethiopia. His family was pissed. It was one of his aunties, and she was like, "Why do they do that?" And it's like so you can feel close. So again, you look at that and you hear her say that, and it's because she is asexual. You see, she might not be in a mode of being in a relationship. You see what I'm saying? So she looking at us like they in a relationship. That's just too close. It's like, but it's not your relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is how we are. So outside of that, we are. Kunta was bisexual. I'm heterosexual, and she's asexual. So this asexual person does not understand what's going on. Just like how Boosie is heterosexual, and then Dwayne Wade's son or daughter is trans, right? So so Boosie is like, I love being a man. I like having a dick. I done woke up with a dick my whole life. That's what I like. That is what I like. Over here, he can't understand Zaya Wade because that's it. And so it's the same situation. It's that whole uncomfortable thing because we don't understand. We don't understand what the fuck is going on. So that made her uncomfortable. And so it's like I can't be mad at her unless she takes action to make that stop. No, she didn't. She just went ahead and put the fucking bacon on the same plate. We just share a plate. We share everything. The other thing about that is like all my friends are like mainly heterosexual. So some people heard that we had sex in the room with each other. They'll think we had a fucking orgy. No, I don't want to share my dick, and my friends don't want to share their dick either. So it is like, no, Nick. I dated Nick. He's an alpha. I've had sex in the room. He did the same thing. He fucked me in the room with my friends right there. They in there sleep, not sleep. He was like, nah, he just fucked me right there. Like it's like we don't care. That's why it's like I was telling y'all about Safari and his sister. If his sister's younger than him, he does not need his sister for advice. He needs his peers because his friends understand more than his sister will. Y'all understand? I'm not about to have sex in the room with my sisters right there. Well, my friends, yeah, because that's how we are. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not uncomfortable for us. We just have sex. Who cares? Like it's okay. Pussy don't stink. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We just none of us have stank ass pussy like that. So it's like, like that's the worst thing that could happen. We end up having a horrible odor in the room or something. I don't know. But as far as that goes, it's like it's just pussy do stink, but I'm serious. Like having sex is not a funky situation. And it's not always like it has an odor in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's okay. So they just wrap themselves up in the cover and fuck. That's it. That's it. Like we just have sex. And so some people will like, oh, you see, I'm saying the wrong person would take that the wrong way and be like, this is an orgy. That's why this time I'm only doing a video and not a podcast because y'all actually take this shit the wrong way and then try to force me into something else. And it's like we close. So that's like part of our sexual intimacy. I'm not turned on by any of my roommates. I'm not turned on by their men. I don't secretly want their man or anything like that. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like, that's just what happens. Like we have sex. It's okay. It's okay. Just like some friends masturbate together. And that's okay too. Like they not touching each other, that's okay too. Like it's just that's our relationship. We are as far as sexual intimacy goes, we close like that. The next part of that is caring. So showing that you care for somebody, that's a turn on. Liking or loving another person, like showing like or love, that's a turn on. And also it's like attraction. And that means just because you have attraction or you turned on don't mean you have to actually sleep with the person. None of this stuff that I'm telling you is going to be sexual. And it's part of sexuality, but it's not sexual. Emotional risk taking, you will take more risks. Like some people, I'd be like, oh yeah, I gave him $20, you know what I'm saying, and I didn't tell him to pay me back and stuff like that, like, but I'm like that with friends too. So emotional risk taking is the part that's getting just really pissing us off in this area. Is if somebody comes from Chicago, they don't have the same morals. So it'll be like they think that we are trying to get them to rob us. Because I help you does not mean I need for you to come back and rob me. Or because I let you do this does not mean that now you get to take something from me. And it's like the anger that they have when they do this stuff. Like when I tell you, I was telling a story about my stepsister, my supposed stepsister. This is Grady Smith's daughter. This is my third husband's daughter. I mean, my mom's third husband's daughter. And I told y'all I let her wear the clothes. She was pissed off at me the whole fucking time that she was there. The whole time. And so that would make me think that she was either gay or bisexual. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because it's like, what the fuck are you mad about? Like, we can get along the whole time. Like, I'm talking about she was pissed the entire time and it was for nothing. The same thing with Tony. Tony would get mad for no reason too. So at that point, it's like not bi or gay, they bipolar. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like they got something that's running in their family because something was wrong and Grady would get mean with my mom too. But my mother was mean. So it'd be like, We don't want to argue with you. Like, bitch, you got my shit on and you done stole the shit. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's like something is going on. And so y'all, that's it too. That's a good thing for you to know. That's why it's good for you to know sexuality too, because then you could be like, there's something else going on with this motherfucker. I'll need some salt from olives. Next thing is vulnerability. You'll be more vulnerable with people. Like most heterosexual men be like, no, you are my woman. If you need any money, you need to come to me. That's my show. That's the Mexican man. Y'all there just straight up be like, nope. Sorry. You need $1. You coming to me. I don't go to nobody else. You don't need nobody else. Ain't the song out there, you don't need nobody else. You gonna be mine, and that's gonna be it. I had one boyfriend, he was Hispanic, he lost his job, he broke up with me. He like, I can't even take care of you like I need to no more. Man, he was like, shit. He was suffering. He lived straight up at home with his mom and dad. They help him all the time. And you know, some Hispanic people think Hispanic men or Hispanic boys are spoiled, and I see why they do what they do. Like why? Because I treat Blake the same way. I raised him like he a little Hispanic boy too. I'm not joking, but it's because it's not that they macho. It's just that it better helps them make decisions and stuff for life, like good decisions for their family. But y'all don't have to take it that far. If you lose your job or something happens, then make sure I'm saying, get you a good woman that's gonna help you stay on your feet. That's all. Like you don't have to give up on life because you don't have money. People will still be there for you. Okay, so sexual identity, and that's what I went over last night because that's important. Gender identity, and then your gender role. So your gender identity is knowing whether one is male or female. So that comes in non-binary and that binary. So binary is a hermaphrodite. Okay, non-binary is male and female, 100%. Most young children determine their own gender identity by the age of 2. Sometimes a person's biological gender identity is not the same as his or her gender identity. So sometimes your biological gender, which you have a pussy, you might still feel like a boy. You might have a penis and feel like a girl. That's what they're saying. It's not the same as his or her gender identity. This is called being transgender, like Desire Wade. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So now it's like, Boosie, if you look at this, what I'm trying to tell you. So that's why you can't understand, because for you, at 2 years old, you decided that you were a boy. And so you decide to fuck around and be bad and all that shit like you a boy. Kissing your mom and shit, becoming a mama's boy like you a boy. You see what I'm saying? So if at the age of 2, a child decides, no, I'm a girl, but I have a dick. Like, what the fuck is wrong? They already know. Y'all see what I'm saying? They already know. Gender role. Identifying actions or behaviors for each gender. Oh, and I told somebody else this too. It was a boy. I was with Orielis. It was a boy dressed as a girl. And Orielis was like, look at that motherfucker. And it's like, nope. I was like, you know what? That boy would get more pussy than you will ever get in your life. Because that boy would be at somebody's house playing with him and all the different stuff. And he'd just be like, girl, let me eat your pussy. You know what I'm saying? That boy would be fucking the fuck out of somebody just because he likes to dress as the girl, like Nas X. So Nas X saying he gay. But Nas like to wear girl clothes and stuff too. So if Nas met the right girl, he might. And I'm not saying he will, but he might actually venture into having some pussy too. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes it'll be like somebody they cross dress, but that don't mean they hate pussy. So just because they cross dress, it's like, shit, I want to feel pretty while I'm fucking you. It's the same thing for us. Like, we actually cross dress too. Like, I'm saying this is androgynous, but it's cross dressing too. Like, we will wear men's clothes and then we'll still be getting fucked. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a dyke. I like dick. So it's like, just because I have on this type of clothing don't mean I don't get dick. And that's the same thing with them. It's just opposite. It'd be like they still just like being women. Like it's not women. It's just like they like dainty outfits. I saw this boy down at the bus station. He had on a skirt. He had on a skirt, which you probably could say was a short kilt, right? He was dressed to the fucking nines. I'm not playing. You look at his face. If you don't look at his outfit, you be like, that nigga fucked the shit out of you. It was a white dude. It's like he's so fucking straight. You can tell he heterosexual. You can tell he like pussy. He's still down there looking at women and checking their ass out too. But he down there with a short ass kilt on and some fucking tights. You see what I'm saying? So the shit feel good. I'm not gonna joke with you. I trying to buy me some stockings now. I like fishnets. Shit, I be with shit. That shit feel good. I'm not joking. It feel good to be a girl. So and our clothes feel good too. So it's like I could understand that too. Like because I was trying to tell him no, that motherfucker still getting pussy. He looking at Ariel is looking at him trying to make fun of him. I'm like, that motherfucker probably finna go get fucked right now. And the girl will be straight up okay with it too. Like it don't make a difference. Like it's like, oh, okay, you wanna wear my outfit, you wanna put my clothes on, let me do your hair. And then later on, let's fuck. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like having a dog with a dick. That's all. Gender role. Identifying actions and or behaviors for each gender. So it's like, what behaviors do you think of? And I'm neutral on gender roles, but identify actions and or behaviors for each gender. Some things are determined by the way the male, female bodies are built or function. For example, only women masturbate and only men produce. Only women menstruate and menstruate and only I said masturbate. I was like, what the fuck? For example, only women menstruate and only men produce sperm. Other gender males are culturally determined. So it's like, yeah, so everybody else it's just like it's culturally determined. In the United States, it is considered appropriate for only women to wear dresses to work in the business world. In other cultures, men may wear skirt-like outfits everywhere. Y'all see, like in Africa, they skirt-like outfits and all that stuff. So it's like, again, they have on a dress. In India, they sometimes wear a skirt-like outfit, right? So they wear the shit, right? And they have like the pants underneath, but women wear the same thing. So at the same time, it's like at no time did I take his masculinity away. That nigga might still be getting some good pussy too. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like that's how y'all gotta look at it, because in the United States we have all these like barriers up because we were trying to be a better state. All of that shit is something that you can probably sue the government for too, because that's the image that they wanted to present on TV. That's what I'm saying. It's like been 2 or 3 generations where all they've been doing is abusing people, and so now it's time to heal. And y'all still sitting here wanting to be abused. Some of y'all, my mama used to beat me for cereal, and now you want to be beat for cereal. And it's like, well, when my mama did it, it was okay. No, bitch, that was trauma. That was trauma, bitch. Your mama was beating you because of trauma. She wasn't beating you because of nothing else. Your mama didn't like you. Your mama didn't want no kids, honey. Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's it. The next one is sexual orientation. And it's part of sexual identity. Whether a person's primary attraction is to the people of the gender of the other gender, which is heterosexual, or the same gender, homosexual, or both genders, bisexuality. Sexual orientation begins to emerge by adolescence, although many gay and lesbian youth say they knew they were attracted to the same sex at 10 or 11. Between 3 and 10% of the general population is probably exclusively homosexual in orientation. Perhaps another 10% of the general population is feel attracted to both genders. So you see what I'm saying? It's like that's something that you have to look at. So sexual identity is gender identity, okay? And that's what the doctor tells you, whatever. So that's when your binary, non-binary come in. Gender role and cisgender. Okay, gender role. It's like, okay, do I have a period or do I not have a period? You know, what does my culture have me dressed like or whatever? So that's what they saying, that really, like I was telling y'all about the cycle of socialization. It's like what those entities put on you. What do your parents put on you? What does the school put on you? What do they tell you to do? Because your environment actually affects your gender role too, like what you think it is. So some people think that I have to wash dishes and all that stuff, when the men in my family know, and it's only 2 of them for real that know, Lake and Terrell. I like to build everything. Y'all see what I'm saying? I like to put the shit together. I gotta put the Legos together. I gotta put the furniture together. I like to do it. They don't have to do nothing. They could just watch TV. I don't give a fuck. And they will sit there and let me do it. They will let me do it. I don't need their help on doing shit. Building robots and shit. I'm about to do it. When it's time to play, they can play with it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like I don't do typical shit. I hate washing dishes. I hate it. I hate feeling that food and shit at the bottom of the sink. Ugh. Ugh. Here, I don't mind washing dishes because I don't have to put it in a bowl or anything. Like, I don't have to put water in the sink and then, ugh. I hate it. I hate feeling wet food. So, here, I don't mind at all. Because all I got is like 45 dishes and some spoons and forks and stuff. So, I don't mind washing dishes at all. But if you're at home and I got to make a sink full of water, they can wash the dishes all day. But anytime anything needs to be built, something needs to be put together, I'm going to do it. Y'all see what I'm saying? And I'm still a heterosexual female. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's my environment that influences and they let me do it. But I might get into another environment and I might be with an engineer. Like, no, I want to put it together. You see what I'm saying? So now I got to take a day off and sneak and go get a Lego set. What the fuck? Don't treat me like this. Okay, yes, that has never happened, but that's my dream. Okay, next, sexual orientation. So yeah, and then sexual orientation is the last thing. So it's like, that's how you feel. Do I feel gay? Do I feel straight? Or do I feel bisexual? Do I feel heterosexual? Do I feel homosexual? Or do I feel bisexual? Even gay and lesbian, we always say gay all the time. And it's like, why don't we use the term lesbian? You see what I'm saying? Do I feel heterosexual? Do I feel straight? Do I feel lesbian? Or do I feel bisexual? You see what I'm saying? It's like, even terms that we use, it's like predominantly for males and all this different stuff. So even that is cultural. Y'all see what I'm saying? Next is reproduction and sexual health. So factual information about reproduction. So it's like, how am I? What it is, that's necessary. Feelings and attitudes. How do I feel about abortion and pregnancy and children and all this different stuff? That's up to you. And I'm not going deep into this because I don't need anybody else come back to me to strike me for this shit. Feelings and attitudes. What are my feelings and attitudes toward reproduction? Sexual intercourse. You know what I'm saying? Do I protect myself during this time? At what periods in my life do I protect myself? When I get to a certain point with a partner, am I able to express that I want to have children or not have children or whatever? Is he going to force me to have children? Is he going to abuse me? All this different stuff. Some of this stuff really goes into reproduction and sexual health. Reproduction and sexual anatomy. How are we going to have children if I'm lesbian or if I'm gay? How am I going to have children if I'm bisexual and I'm with a partner that is lesbian or gay? Sexual reproduction is and that's like it. Like, how do I have my baby? And so y'all learn that when y'all have your birth plans and all that different stuff too. And that's not what they saying on here, but it's like something I really don't. Reproduction and sexual health, it's not a lot for me to explain. And then the last one is sexualization. This is when you start to get into the parts where something is wrong. Okay, flirting is okay. It's harmless, and if the person is wanting it, it's okay. And you can't flirt everywhere, and you can't flirt with everybody. You understand? It's like, because in some positions you just can't do that. Like, it's something that's not like warranted. Seduction. It's the act of enticing someone to engage in sex. And that's something else you can't always do either. Sexual harassment is illegal behavior when you are constantly trying to get at somebody about sex. What they do to me now. Rape is when somebody is telling you no and they don't want to have sex with you in sexual advances. And women can rape men. It's not a joke. Incest is forcing contact with a minor as a perpetrator or something like that by birth or marriage. So it's like, all this stuff is like, this sexualization is like, what is it that you feel about that? And let me go in and read what it's saying here. Sexualization is that aspect of sexuality in which people behave sexually to influence, manipulate, or control other people. Often called the shadowy side of human sexuality, sexualization spans spans behaviors that range from relatively harmless to sadistically violent, cruel, and criminal. These sexual behaviors include flirting, sex seduction, withholding sex from an intimate partner to punish him or her, or to get something, sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and rape. Teens need to know that no one has the right to exploit them sexually, and that they do not have the right to exploit anyone else sexually. So it sounds like sexualization is so horrible. It's not, because it's a good side of sexualization too. It's being sexy. Sexualization is like I said, I know I'll tell the story about two, how it's gonna seduce two into having sex with me. And two is so innocent. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, the boys from home are always like really sweet. Anybody that I dated here, they are always like so sweet. So it's like I really am the bad. I'm like, rawr, you know what I'm saying? So um it's like a seduction. It's like it's a good thing, because it's usually adults. It's like, but it's a manipulation. That it says this act of seduction implies a manipulation that at times may prove harmful for the one who is being seduced. And so that's the same thing that happened with Joel and me. He was seducing me, you know what I'm saying? And I was too young, and he was seducing me so that he could give this information to these men. And so it's like they constantly, and it's like, that's why I'm trying to get y'all to see that I have a case. You understand what I'm saying? I have a case, bitches. And so it's like, and this is the information that you would need to know in order for you to know just to write the check, and we don't have to go to court. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like, when I'm done, it's just like, bitch, I got a case. So even with the alphas and all that stuff, like trying to make me be pansexual or polyamorous or whatever, it's like, I'm not that. That's not my sexuality. My boyfriend that I've just broken up with was a virgin for a year before we had sex, and before that I was dating another virgin. Even though I have dated men and I had sex, I had monogamous sex with them. Why now would you now think that I need to be in a polygamous or a pansexual relationship with the fucking fraternity? You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like always some situation where they want to force somebody else's idea of what my sexualization is. You understand? When really, if I was going to flirt with you, I'm going to flirt with you. And really, I only flirt with the person that I'm in a relationship with, or whoever I'm crushing on. And I tell them, I'm crushing on you. I'm flirt. You see what I'm saying? I try to make everything become more open. So flirting with Thomas does not warrant now my sexualization has to be impaired and moved into rape. You understand what I'm saying? That's a big step. That was a big step, Thomas, for me to flirt with you. Right? And you could just say, don't come over anymore, to you setting me up to be raped by somebody. It's huge. That's a huge step. Two, now we're going to now make all these women worth a certain amount of points on campus. Right? So now we are turning their monogamous sexualization, their monogamous professional intelligence sexualization into pansexualization and polyamory. At the end of the day, I got a fucking case. Write the fucking check. I'm not supposed to be in no fucking homeless shelter. And I'm not supposed to be in a casket either, bitch. At the end of the day, I got evidence. So, y'all, I be getting pissed because it's like, I'm so serious, because if they were in jail and somebody raped their ass, then they'll understand. So that's what the other part of it is. You need to go to jail and get raped. Let somebody stick something in your ass every fucking day. So let them take you away from your fucking kids and your wife. They can hunt her down and stop her from seeing you at jail when you need money on your fucking books to patch up your booty hole. Let them knock your teeth out your mouth so you can go ahead and just suck their dick. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about make sure these motherfuckers are heterosexual. Yeah, it is like evidence. So that's all I'm saying. It's just like sexualization is not, it's like sexualization is like what were the two words I used? What was it? Androsexual and gynosexual. So that's part of sexualization too. It's like, do I like a masculine person or do I like a feminine person? So androsexual is like attracted to masculinity, and gynosexual is attracted to femininity, and it's like both are non-sexual. You see what I'm saying? So that's just up to you. Like it's so that is all part of sexualization as well. So each of those makes up your values of sex, right? So sexualization is like, I like to flirt. I'm a flirt. I'm a flirt. I am a person that is all about having children. You know what I'm saying? In safe spaces. If a person needs to have an abortion, or if they feel like it's the end of the rope, they let them do what they have to do. It's their choice. I'm a pro-choice person. If this person needs contraception, if this person, you see what I'm saying, all this stuff, they have to give their child up for adoption. All that stuff is something that they have to really take and consider, because if they are in situations with rapists and all these different things, you see what I'm saying, if they're around people that have a different type of sexualization idea, even if their parents are like saying, oh, this is horrible, that's a bad idea, I can't tell you, you see what I'm saying, all this is going to be bad for my career, and all this, it's up to you whether you want to have a child or not, right? But you don't want to also put a child into a horrible environment too. So whatever it is, that's your choice. It's pro-choice. Sexual identity, then that's also something that shapes you, your idea of life, everything, all this different stuff. So I knew that I was already a girl. I already knew that I didn't ever think about being heterosexual, but I was always turned on by men, boys, men. And sexual orientation, I knew that I was a girl that wanted to be married and have a kid and have a family, all this different stuff. I knew I still wanted to travel too. So I knew that I was heterosexual. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I thought I could have been bisexual because of the love that somebody had for me. So if I start to think like that, then I'm more open to different sexualities. Then sexual intimacy, I learned sharing, caring, liking, loving, emotional risk taking, and vulnerability in relationships. I've had a lot of relationships, and I have travel relationships and relationships here. And so all of them have been sweet to me. Sensuality, my body image is okay. The way I experience pleasure is okay. I get to satisfy my skin. I get my skin hunger satisfied sometimes. Satisfying. I like. I love being physically attracted to people, and I try to share that as much as I can. And I do. I watch porn and stuff, so it's like I like create. I can visualize the fantasy, and I'm able to masturbate to the fantasy. So it's like I don't have to go out and voyeur into all these fantasies and different things like that. So for me, it's something that is actually um something that is personal for me. It doesn't have to become, oh, I need to make this fantasy come true. No, and not at all. Not at all. Not at fucking all. I just want my man. I want my dick. That's it. So that's it. That's all. So you see what I'm saying? So that's me. But then you may give a totally different perspective on your sexuality. You understand? So when you understand that more, you can understand why these motherfuckers need to be put in jail. Have a good day. Blake, I thank you and I love you. Have a good day.